Good evening, and welcome to a late night large pulled over by the police on their way to an illegal house party pepped up on goofballs. Stammering a flimsy fabricated excuse to the lead officer is me, Aaron Bliss, and making things worse with a stream of abuse and flatulence from the passenger seat is Mike Large. How you doing, Mike?
Yeah, a bit gassy, but I'm fine.
That's what I heard. So, if you weren't aware, it is supposedly summertime, British summertime, and we thought that a good topic tonight would be how lockdown is affecting our summer. So the cruel summer in lockdown theme is our discussion on what we normally would expect to be doing in summertime and what kind of effect the continuing lockdown, because there is still a lockdown despite a lot of things being eased up. There are still very crucial things we're not allowed to do, very life affirming things. So this is obviously going to affect the summer. It's not just the weather anymore. So in honor of that, I thought I'd dress the part, and I've got my summer drink here. I don't know about you, Mike.
Oh, lovely! Isn't that nice?
No, right? I'll try not to stab myself in the eye with it.
Does that count as a summer drink? Other beers are available.
Yeah, I
I
think.
don't know.
Although, if we can get a sponsorship with San Miguel, then
Oh, they should fucking sponsor me.
in fact, yeah, I'd like their name stricken from the record. There are plenty of better beers unless they sponsor us. So, Mike, I'm sure Mike's clocked, but my cap's repping where we all began as well. This is Late Night Large, his birthplace there. Anyway, Mike.
Yes.
Before we start, I thought I might relay a sad tale, because right now I'm really hurting all over due to something me and Mike did last night.
Whoa!
My fingers
Fucking
are
clear
hurting,
that up.
my legs
Clear
are
that shit
hurting,
up. Fuck's sake!
my quadricep has popped out, all because of the activities that me and Mike got up to, which of course was playing football. I mean, wasn't it obvious? I don't know about you, Mike, but yeah, I feel like I feel like I've been hit by quite a small car, maybe a milk float. Let's say a milk float.
Um, I've I've got a pretty stiff groin.
Well, there you go. It's a good job I cleared up exactly what we got up to before you relayed that information.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cautionary tale, kiddies, because me and Mike aren't as young as we once were, although we are still incredibly intelligent and beautiful. But as you get a little bit older, things do get harder. You can still do the same things, but you don't recover nearly as fast from them. So this is going to hurt for probably 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, back to the matter in hand, Mike.
Yeah.
Let me throw this at you. What do you normally get up to in the summertime? What would you expect to get up to outside of work?
You knew my answer was going to be work, didn't you? What do I normally get up to? I mean, I'm probably not a good example.
What would young Mike? Okay, what would young Mike, before the weight of the world crushed him into the hollow shell he is now? What would he get up to?
Fucking hell! Just say how it is. Just say how it is. Don't mince your words.
You bitter, cynical wretch.
All right. Okay.
Come on, young Mike. What's young Mike?
Right, young Mike. What would he be doing? He'd be attending barbecues.
Mm-hmm.
Get himself about. Probably lots of sporting activities. Yeah, anything you can do in fair weather sports. Be getting involved in all of that. And the travel that's involved. Holidays, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous amount of trying to get his end away. That's basically taking advantage of the That sounds bad. I was going to say, well, fuck it, actually. I don't care if it sounds bad. Jesus Christ. Does anyone ever listen to this show? I don't care about sounding bad, obviously. Enjoying the different clothing choices that the fair weather brings out for the fairer sex.
Very diplomatic way of putting it, Mike.
Yeah, I try sometimes.
You can control
the message is still just as perverse as it would have been had I said it any other way.
It's just family friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean that is our USP. One of the few positives of this enforced lockdown, in terms of, I mean, the lack of holidays being allowed, is at least we get no Instagram posers who post heavily edited selfies in front of sacred monuments.
You well know I don't have Instagram.
But you know who does have Instagram? Late Night Large. So anyone who's listening or watching this video, by all means, please follow us on Instagram. Obviously, click the subscribe button on this video, please.
Subscribe.
Obviously.
Subscribe. If you like any of the content, and even if you don't, subscribe. Fuck it.
Hey, we welcome abuse just as much as we welcome positive comments. It's all the same to us.
We're much more used to abuse, actually. Much more used to abuse. Compliments, not so sure how to handle those. Abuse, brilliant.
It's what we thrive on. So, what I would normally get to in the summer, Mike, because summer's not necessarily my favourite time of the year, but there are some great things that happen in summer. Among the greatest, I would consider festivals, because I don't think there's anything more life-affirming than being in a giant field in sunny weather, off your tits on something or other, listening to some glorious music. It just connects you with nature, and the music hits you, and you're red as a lobster, you're blacking out from sunstroke. It's just the glory of the summer is encapsulated in my eyes in a music festival. And of course, this year was the 50th anniversary of Glastonbury.
Right. Yes. Were you going?
I have to say, I've been to Glastonbury once, and that was after, I think, 4 or 5 years of relentless trying for tickets. I did go in 2010 with a good friend, so no, there's definitely a bit of magic about it. I don't know if it's how close it is to the roots of the 1970 inaugural edition. There's a lot of people say it's lost its roots, although there were people in the 90s who said it lost its roots. So we don't know, do we? But yeah, the 50th anniversary of Glastonbury, you can imagine that would have been completely over the top in terms of the spectacle. BBC would have ran it for probably a month solid, like coverage of the history of Glastonbury. And of course, we're forgetting, although obviously it wasn't necessarily the summertime, but VE Day celebration as well. That would have been a huge thing.
Yeah.
And that was very restricted, obviously because of social distancing and lockdown measures. So,
rightly so.
Yeah, of course. Although the puffins doing the conga didn't really do much for keeping the transmission under control. But I digress. So, are you not a big music festival man, Mike?
I mean,
not your kind of thing.
It's strange. It's strange because, in theory, yes, like it is absolutely my kind of thing.
In theory.
Yeah. Well, okay. What happens at a music festival?
Are you asking?
What are the 5 key kind of, say 5 or 3 to 5 key things, right, that you associate with music festivals?
Are we talking beside the music?
Include the music. That's an obvious one. Okay.
Bands, booze, women, nature, camping.
Music, booze, women. The first 3 you said.
Right.
If that doesn't say especially the booze and the women. If that doesn't say Mike Large to you, I don't know what does.
Sex, drugs.
So yeah, I mean, going and sitting in the field, doing some crazy shit, getting fucked up.
Good.
You know, pursuing some scantily clad women, like fucking yeah. But I don't really go to many.
How many?
I don't know. I think. Huh?
How many would you say you've been to then?
Count on one hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only a few. But thing is, I think I just struggled to get it off work. So like, it never became a thing. It never been like, oh, every year I go to this festival because.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, so I never got into the routine of it. But anyway, my fucking my work's got a lot of things to answer for. So wasting my best years.
Oh, Mike, it's interesting you say that, your best years, because if we just go past your sob story about work, there are legitimately people who've said that this has ruined potentially some of the best years of their life. I'm thinking of people who were about to graduate from college or university, people who are about to finish school, particularly, I guess, people who are about to finish school. Obviously, people who've had to celebrate their birthdays without a party or even celebration because of the situation. I mean,
for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's how much sympathy do you have for those people, Mike?
None.
Are we going because Mike's having a bad time, everyone else needs to have one?
Yeah. Fuck you all.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
I've got your people. I feel for you.
No, fuck off. Look, no, I do. No, I do. Of course, I do. I mean, let's not. I mean, I do have sympathy. People start to play too much on it, and then my sympathy will start to wane a little. I mean, is it sad you couldn't celebrate your birthday this year like you would have liked to? Yeah, okay. It's an inconvenience. It's not like it's not sad, is it? It's not a sob story. Oh, I couldn't do. Okay.
What about the people who say? Okay, what about the people who say it was my 18th? I'm only 18 once. I'm never going to be 18 again.
You do what everyone else has had to do. Just have very limited celebrations and fucking celebrate afterwards. When this is all done, you have a celebration then, and it'll be even bigger and better.
I was about to say, Mike. Yeah, no, I was going to finish that with anyone who is feeling legitimately terrible about I've missed my 18th, 21st, etc. For God's sake, people, when this is all over, there will be parties you will never know the like of again. People will drink themselves into a stupor. We'll have more hospital patients from the parties after the lockdown is completely ended than we ever had from COVID. You know, what was it? My missus suggested we're going to have epic sex parties, like Roman orgy style, when this is all over. Mike's eyes light up. My eyes lit up as well. You know, it could be a bacchanalian period to right in the ages when this is all over. So what we're trying to say is the good times have not ended, they are postponed, which only means that they increase in fervor, and then they'll just explode in a volcano of splendor. And yeah, you just couldn't resist it, could you, Mike? You couldn't. Just anyway. So you're not a big festival man, but I am, and it hurts. And you know, the other night I tuned into Hellfest, which is a fantastic festival in France, alternative festival. Amazing the way they lay it out, it's top class how everything's laid out, brilliant bands, etc. And in the French sunshine, and with French women, which obviously is a huge thing. But they've done an online thing like Hellfest Online. They've even had like a lineup. And I presume what they're doing is streaming very recent live performances at Hellfest from those bands. And I tuned into that and it was fun, but it was, it didn't feel at all like a festival experience because
I wouldn't.
you can't mimic that kind of experience at all. There's other things, the club night that I'm missing, they have an online stream and they put up pictures and videos of club goers and whatever, and you do get a sense of the atmosphere and you feel like, yeah, I almost feel like I'm there again. But festivals, it just doesn't work at all. So I mean, that's going to be really sad. Anyone who was looking forward to a festival, but at least, you could say at least it's not ruined by the weather, because most of the time you
Yeah,
show up
true.
with a flimsy tent and then you're thinking this is going to be the best weekend of my life, and it rains all weekend. You get trench foot, the tent's ruined, you're hospitalized with fever.
Catch an STD.
Well, super spreader. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you can replace festivals. So I'm afraid that is going to ruin summer. If you're looking forward to a festival, I don't see any other way. A virtual festival doesn't even come close. Perhaps we can have a festival in the back garden, set up a marquee, remove at least one of the sides so it's not an enclosed space, invite over 7 of your mates.
7?
Is it 7 or is it 6?
I thought you could have 6 people.
I'm mixing up with Scotland. Okay, 6 people. So you get 6 of your mates in the back garden, get a boom box or an iPad or something similar, speakers, and I don't know, get really drunk. Obviously, sanitize the toilet after you use it, etc. I don't think it's going to be the same. And of course, holidays, Mike's.
Yeah.
Hit it, by the way. What are we all going to do in terms of holidays? In terms of holidays, what are we going to do? Oh.
No, I'm not singing. I'm not singing. I'm not. I know where you're going. I'm not fucking singing.
Well,
right?
You've let us all down. You've let every viewer of this video down, Mike. Okay.
No chance.
Summer holidays. Now
we're all going up now.
Yes.
I'm not doing it.
So
again.
That was good enough. So summer holidays, Mike.
She said. Yep.
Right. Summer holidays. The government has. You can tell that it's part of the government strategy. They want to get people going on summer holidays. That's a big thing for them. They think that will turn the tide of opinion against them the other way if people can still go on holiday. Now, being realistic, that's not going to apply to a huge proportion of the population because a lot of them are really struggling for money right now for obvious reasons. But, there are a few very fortunate people who probably support the Conservative Party who would like to go on holiday, a summer holiday to sunnier climes. How likely do you think that is, Mike?
How likely do I think it is? Probably slightly more likely than it should be, if that makes sense. Is it a good idea? No. you don't have to be that sharp really to figure that out. However, will there be some way in which people can still do it within the next couple of months? Probably.
I mean,
why? Some of the reasons you mentioned.
I mean, they're talking about air corridors, aren't they?
They're talking about what now?
Sorry, they're talking about air corridors, which apparently are going to be flights allowed to only certain specialised countries, presumably countries with lower infection rates than ours.
Right. Still, come on. No. Yeah, so that's what I mean. There will be a way for those with a bit of that to go away. There will be, because and if the cynic in me agrees with you for some of the reasons that you alluded to, rather than for any actual for the good of the people, because what would be in that respect, the best thing to do would be not do it. But the people will be going away. People will be going away. Maybe not this month. What's left of it?
Probably all.
Maybe not next month. But I think there will something will happen. Something will change, and maybe not necessarily for the right reasons.
I think we're kind of on the same page there. What about? I mean, obviously, we've already seen some of the people completely flagrantly disobeying social distancing at beaches. So, I mean, that already happens. But, and to be honest, I've never really understood the attraction of showing up to a beach that's crammed with other people. To just
fuck people.
Well, yeah. To be honest, I'm kind of on the same page there. What about swimming? Not necessarily the ocean, but swimming's a thing that people like to do in the summer. Do you think that might come back in any context? I can't imagine indoor swimming would at all.
I mean, outdoor, I can't see it. Well, I mean, some research would have to be done on transmission in water and things like that. I get it probably already has happened, but I just don't know about it. Pretty hard to enforce kind of social distancing, or I suppose you could let a very finite amount of people in, like just a few people, and divide it into lanes and say. But then you're talking about literally, you're talking about swimming for exercise, and that's it. There'd be no going and playing in the outside pool and like.
Yeah, you wouldn't allow kids to be splashing.
Yeah. So I can't see. It will probably be. It might open up in for literally you're going to exercise like you would at a swimming pool at a gym or something, but outside. But not for the kind of fun place that it won't be the fun place that you would normally associate with going swimming on an outdoor pool in the summer or whatever. Or bloody shouldn't be anyway.
No. Yeah. No. I agree with that prognosis. What about? I mean, in terms of festivals, a subsection of the festival experience is camping. Now, camping is possible.
Yeah.
With obviously people in your household or the people in the bubble or people who you're keeping a social distance from. Are you a camping man, Mike? Campers are a tent, yeah?
No, not massively. Like I don't mind it. Like it's a bit of a laugh sometimes. In my youth, probably found it a bit more exciting than maybe I would now. Now I'm just like, oh well, can I just? I wake up and I fuck it, my back, and then I can't. And then I'm like, I need a shower. Why can't I? Instead of just like sleep on whatever, get up, just wander around, do whatever. I wake up now. I'm like, oh, that wasn't a great night's sleep. I need a shower, and then yeah. So it's lost some of its appeal, but I still do appreciate the appeal it has. Just maybe not my first choice.
You really are getting old, Mike. Yeah.
Hot kettle.
Oh, zing. In terms of barbecues, Mike, we know that barbecues are allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed before the pitfalls of this. I mean, you're not supposed to be going in people's houses. Have you had a barbecue under these conditions, or are you planning to have a barbecue? Do you think would you just have one? No compunction, like fuck it, I'm just having one, and you're not going to police anything.
Not personally.
No.
No.
I imagine other people might. Have you seen what's been happening in parts of London, I mean, I know everyone will say, "Oh, it's London," but have you seen in parts of London? Basically, they, as you can imagine, this is exactly what we would have expected to happen. But people are going to parks to have barbecues and whatever, or picnics, and they're pissing all over the trees, pissing in public, leaving mounds of rubbish everywhere. They've had to put up signs and stuff saying, "This is not a festival site. Can you please like keep your rubbish to yourself? Not like piss in full view of everyone." But then the on the other side, I'm not accusing people of being assholes, but on the other side, well, what did you expect? There's no public toilets open. And you're saying, oh, everyone could be happy clappy outside with no facilities.
Yeah, a bit of a tricky one. They probably should have thought about that a little bit.
Yeah, do you think it is a case of, I know, this is why I'm asking you, Mike, because you know that you consider me biased and that I'll always think the worst of the government, but a lot of people have said this. Do you think that an idea comes into their head where they think this will be popular and they roll it out without any thought of any practicalities involved in it at all? It's like, bitches love barbecues. Yeah, they love some holidays too. And there's no practical thought given to where are they going to go to the toilet. Well, hold on, they can't fly to other countries. We haven't got a test and trace. We haven't got this. We haven't got that.
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that basically for the reasons you just said. Yeah, I do think there is a bit of that. Not as much as you make out, but there is a bit of that. Yeah. Like, when they said you can go and sit in someone's garden, but you can't go in the house. We spoke about it before. What? You sit in their garden and then, I don't know, you need to go and curl one out. What are you doing? Like, you're going to go to their fucking toilet, won't you? Like, it's going to ridiculous. Of course, that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. But so, yeah. I guess my big problem with it, Mike, also is it's not just that they didn't, because certain things can slip people's minds. They're just so happy with people can go to friends' houses. They're going to love that in the garden, whatever. But why do they not give instructions on things that may occur? Go to a friend's garden. Please don't go in their house. If you need to use the toilet, you must sanitize every surface on your way out of the toilet. Job done. Instead, it's like, don't mention it. Nobody has to go to the toilet. What are you talking about? It's just that everything is like left blank, like fill in the blanks. So people are asking questions. What about this? I don't understand. What if this happens?
Perhaps they're being deliberately vague so that people will make up their own interpretation of the rules.
So they can blame people.
Yeah, knowing full well that people in general, we've said it before and I'll say it again, are stupid. Knowing full well that they'll make their own rules up based on what they think, even if it's not what they think, it'll be what's convenient for them and fuck everyone else, because that's how people work. And they'll go around doing their little things with their own little interpretation of the rules, spread shit about, and there you go. There's your herd immunity.
Mike, that was an epic conclusion there. Wow.
There's a few steps missed out, but
yeah. No, I mean, you know what? I couldn't have said it better than Mike, so I'm not even going to add to what Mike said. Brilliant for once, Mike. So we're kind of running out of time now. So it's very sad because this summer, effectively, there's going to be a lot we're restricted from doing that we otherwise would. Summer romances. That's going to be unlikely to happen. And I give my deepest sympathy to people who are suffering in terms of they've got huge events. Their 18th, their 21st, their wedding, their funeral. These things have all been affected by lockdown. But
you give sympathy to people. Sorry, go on. That's the funeral bit. The funeral bit got me.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't directly addressing the people who died, but their loved ones. No, but I mean, you know, among all the jokes, that there are human tragedies. What we have to keep looking at, everyone who's really disadvantaged by this, when your mental health starts going downhill, you just need to say to yourself, am I sick? No. It's all good then. It's worked. You know, you sometimes you have to boil it down to that. If I'm not sick, it's great. I haven't got coronavirus. I'm not struggling to breathe, etc. But I'm afraid for most other things, it's looking like it probably will be a cruel summer. I mean, no European Championships, one thing.
Oh no, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, we have got the end of a Premier League season that's kind of, is there really any point? We already know how it's finished, but there you go. Anything to round off with, Mike, before we go?
Not really. Only to reiterate what you said at the start, which is all about getting you crazy motherfuckers to subscribe, hit like on just fucking everything. Just like this, like that. Like, just fucking go crazy. Like everything.
Look at that face. Are you going to say no to that face over there?
Just fucking like it, man. Subscribe. Obviously, subscribe. You know, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's that. I think that's a big one. Get on Instagram. You've got it. Be all over that.
Spotify. We're on Spotify. All the early classics as a podcast, because right now we're broadcasting on YouTube via video link. We have podcasts. They're great to help you get to sleep. So get onto Spotify.
Aaron will bore you to sleep.
Yeah. Get on Spotify and follow us there. Follow the podcast, Late Night Large. And until next time, have a lovely, cruel summer.
Goodbye.